You know what really grinds my gears?
These goddamn Game Awards. Cause what do you mean we're just putting DLCs up for Game of the Year now? Really? We're just throwing everything at the wall. That's just how it's rocking now, Geoff. That's what you want to do? Fine. That's cool. That's cool. I'm on the way. Don't let me find you. Cause if I do. But yeah, as you can see, and if you couldn't tell already, Geoff and the Game Awards, they've made a little cheeky change to the rules right around the drop of this year's Game Awards, and it seems like they're doing it for a certain somebody. You feel me? You know who I'm talking about. We know who I'm talking about. It's caused a lot of mixed reactions already. By the way, this is pre-recorded. This is well before the Game Awards come out. Like, I had the idea when I saw the news. I made a script and shit that night, and then I got to the point where I was getting ready to record it. I was looking at it on my second monitor. I was like, it's time to go to work. And then I scrapped the whole damn script. I said, nope, we're good. We don't need it. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm only upset about this rule change because I want Black Myth Wukong to win Game of the Year this year. Nah, that's not the only reason. That's one of the main reasons. It's not the only reason. And I'm not really upset about it. It's just one of those things where it don't feel right. It feels weird. You're doing this so that Shadow of the Erd Tree can essentially win Game of the Year. And it feels like, for a lot of people, it feels like you're just robbing other studios who actually released their video games this year. And don't get me wrong, I played Shadow of the Erd Tree. If I could, I'd go back and experience it for the first time again. It was spectacular, and that's an understatement. If any DLC or expansion is worthy of Game of the Year talks or deserves to be in it, it's that. But still, I wouldn't go as far as to actually nominate it. And don't get me wrong, there's footage of me saying Shadow of the Erd Tree should win Game of the Year. There's footage of me saying Black Myth Wukong should win Game of the Year. There's footage of me saying Stellar Blaze should win Game of the Year. So we can do this all day. Everybody says anything when they're happy. Let's just be honest here. But when it comes down to it, yeah, I think a lot of people don't want DLCs or expansions to win Game of the Year. They'd rather it get recognized as its own thing, which is completely fair. I get that. Let's take a look at the actual nominees for this year's Game of the Year. Oh, bonk. There it is. There it is. He's getting better with it. But yeah, as you can see, we have a pretty decent list. Balatro, a lot of people were surprised about, which is very funny. I had no idea what this game was until it got nominated for Game of the Year, along with a lot of people. But apparently it's some fire-ass roguelike card game. I won't be giving it a try, but props to it. Astrobot is a game that I did not expect to do as well as it did. A lot of people love this game, and it's not for any particular reason. I didn't expect it to do well. I just wasn't paying attention to it as it was getting ready to come out. I just thought the game looked cute, if anything. And then Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I should probably scroll down a little bit so we can see the titles. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Whatever. Metaphor ReFantazio, though. I've heard a lot of good things about that shit recently, and I might have to dabble in it. I might have to see what it is. I won't stream or play it like for content. I just would try it out. But I've heard it had a crazy soundtrack, crazy art design. Like, it's kind of like the sleeper pick Alan Wake 2 was last year. You remember how like a lot of people were talking about Spider-Man 2 and Baldur's Gate 3 for Game of the Year and all the extra awards last year, and then Alan Wake 2 dropped, and all of a sudden it won like best game design or like best art or best game direction, like something. I think maybe best art design, best like sound design. It won a few different jumps out of just the woodworks. Man, I think Spider-Man 2 went 0 for 7 last year, or 0 for however many it got nominated for, and that shit was tragic. Oh my God, I don't even want to talk about it. I do want to make a video about it though at some point, because I feel like a lot of the hate that got put onto that game and Insomniac as a whole happened right after the Game Awards, because like the game came out October, everyone was feeling it. a lot. And then we kind of had our little gripes with the ending and like what they did with Venom and this, that, and the third. But no one really hated the game. Then it lost everything. It lost every award it was nominated for at the Game of the Year awards. And then people just started dogpiling it. Like, I remember. The North remembers. Moving on, though. I did see a list. Oh, hold on. I did see a list recently. And it showed a bunch of potential games that could have won Game of the Year. And I'm not going to lie to you. This is a pretty good list. I wouldn't say everything on here would be worthy of taking Elden Ring's spot or a Shadow of the Erdtree spot for it. But this definitely is a small list in a long line of things that could have replaced the DLC. But with that being said, a lot of arguments can be made against that because we can take a look at Shadow of the Erdtree again. I'm going to throw
Shadow meet death.
Throw some stuff up on the screen real quick. Oh boy, like, it's tough to argue it, but you know, we gotta be technical sometimes. And this is one of those times we gotta be technical. Because, like, Space Marine 2, Helldivers 2, Tekken 8, we know how multiplayer games work at the Game Awards. Like, they get their own categories. The last time a multiplayer game, Baldur's Gate 3 was multiplayer, I get it, shut up. The last time like a multiplayer game, like an FPS shooter type thing, won Game of the Year was like Overwatch in 2016, and that was insane. That was insane. That year for Game of the Awards was crazy. That sounded terrible. That year for Game of the Year was crazy. There was a lot of crazy years. 2018, dog. 2018 had Red Dead 2, God of War. I'm gonna throw the list up if I remember to, and a couple others. Oh man, that year was insane, absolute madness. But hold on, real quick, before we move on, I want to talk a little bit about Stellar Blade. I got some mixed feelings about this. Stellar Blade is definitely for like a majority of the year was the game I wanted to be in that next spot, like in that spot for Game of the Year. But I have my gripes with Stellar Blade, and I plan on making a video about it, and I want it to come out soon, like hopefully soon after this video drops, because after like the 50% mark, like once you get to like the Great Desert and have to do the underground section where you can't use your sword and all that, everything feels the same. That entire underground section is the carbon copy. We all know it. The only thing that's different is the puzzles. If you played Stellar Blade, you know what I'm talking about. Most of the bosses that you encounter in the Great Desert and the access areas of the second half of the game are just bosses you fought in the first half of the game, which is sad. And then, like this, I'm not gonna lie, it took me out of it. By the time I got to the third act, I was so drained. And then I had PC problems to the point where I had to basically get a new one. It took me so far out of it. I still haven't finished the last like 3 bosses of the game. I don't even know if I am. Like, I don't know what happens, but like, I was putting together the story pretty easily. Like, the main story is nothing to write home about. We all know that. I'm gonna stop talking about this game in detail because this isn't the Stellar Blade video. I'm gonna move on. If you want to see that video, let me know. Also, I want to hear all of your opinions as well in the comments. So let me know what y'all are thinking about this. Whether you agree with me, disagree with me, don't give a fuck, want to form a squadron to go take out Geoff Keighley personally, I'm with it. It doesn't matter to me. But yeah, let's discuss, let's debate. I'm very interested to hear what people got to say about this topic, and I'm very interested to see what happens by the time the Game Awards come out, because I'm really looking forward to seeing what the internet, or how the internet reacts to what happens. And the funny thing is, Black Myth Wukong is getting an expansion next August, and if it's any good, anywhere near as good as the game was that came out this year, we'll be right back here next year having these exact same conversations, and I'll be singing an entirely different tune. Why? Because I am entirely biased towards Black Myth Wukong. I don't care what you say. In terms of the products that came out this year, between Black Myth Wukong and Shadow of the Erdtree, I'm taking Black Myth Wukong every day of the week and twice on Sunday. That's just me. That's just me. And I love Elden Ring. I love Shadow of the Erdtree. What the fuck does it know about being Game of the Year? What? No. And I will stand on my bias. I will die on this hill. Fight me if you want to. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say if I'm being honest with y'all. Actually, there's one more thing. I do want to show you guys some of the other picks and other like nominees and stuff like that. Because there's a couple things that I wanted to point out. Balatro and Astrobot being nominated for like 6 and 7 awards apiece, that shit's insane. I didn't expect that at all. But congratulations to those two nonetheless. Go back to the categories. Yep. Real quick, I gotta talk about Stellar Blade real quick. This is how you know I have such a love-hate relationship with this game. I wanted it to do so well, but I don't care if you can. I know this is gonna come out after the Game Awards is pretty much done, but like, I gotta lock in. To me, my X-Men, I need you to all vote Stellar Blade best score in music, please. There is no game this year that has a better soundtrack than Stellar Blade. Metaphor ReFantazio fans, please do not kill me. I understand. Vote Stellar Blade score and music. Please. That's it. That's all I need. That's all I need. That's all I need. Nothing else from y'all. Nothing else from you. Like the video. That's it. That's all I need. That's all I need. That's all I need. But yeah, no, there was... I'm not gonna lie. This year, in terms of like nominees and stuff like that, I actually downloaded the vote card. I'm just gonna pull this up and y'all can take a look at this while I talk. Those are all the things that I voted for, or all the games that I voted for the certain categories. The nominees, you'll be able to see all of them. They'll be there. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This year for the Game Awards, I'm just looking forward to seeing the controversy that stems from it. Hold on one second. My fucking neighbors think that they can blast music. By the way, I'm recording this at 2:21 a.m. And my neighbors think that they can blast music so loud that it like vibrates my room. And like I can hear it clearly and my mic picks it up because it's sensitive. So sometimes when I'm talking and and that's blasting, it undercuts me. So I'm just giving them a second. Don't worry. I figured out who it is now. I figured out who it is. They'll be dealt with. It doesn't make sense. It's 2-something in the morning and you're playing shit that loud. Like, if this isn't my next door neighbor, who is the next door neighbor that has to deal with that? If it was me, I'd be breaking through your door with a bat. End of story. I'm not taking it to you. Nah, I am taking it to you. I'm sorry. Taking it to you and whatever you're using to play that shit that loud. Because what the fuck? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. What day of the week is it? It's goddamn Thursday. What? You don't have work? You don't got school? Nothing? What's going on? What are you doing? Anyways, I think I can get back on track now. Bastards. But yeah, I'm interested to see this Game of the Year. I'm interested to see this year's Game Awards. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Like I said, in the comments, let me know. Drop a like while you're at it. Subscribe, maybe, We do a little bit of fun things around here. We play a little bit of games. We talk a little bit. We have some discussions. I'm working on some more content. You feel me? We trying to get it in. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anymore, y'all. As you can hear, it's 2-something in the morning. I keep saying that because I'm emphasizing how fucking tired I am. I didn't say this in this recording yet, but I already did a take of this. And you want to know what the problem is? I did not have my mic on the scene that you're looking at now. So anytime I was here, there was nothing. No words. Only my lips moving. I need water. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm about to get out of here. I got one last thing to say though. The Last of Us Part 2 should not have won Game of the Year in 2022. I don't care. Fight me about it. You can say anything you want right now. You can't get me through the screen. If you want to get me through the screen, do what you got to do. But I don't care. It shouldn't have won. If it wasn't for media hype and all of you guys' nostalgia for Part 1, Ghost of Tsushima would have won by a landslide. We all know this. We all know this. But I digress. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you may be. And I'll catch you all inside that flips, dips, and trips, bitches. Deuces.